Today, I want to talk to you about maybe my new favorite budget monitor, and that's the OSEE Lilmon5. So, full disclosure, right out of the gate, OSEE did send me this monitor. They don't get to review anything that I put together, and this is my honest opinion. It's not paid or anything like that, but I did just want to let you know that they did send me this monitor, and that this monitor is in kind of beta firmware. I've had this monitor for the last like 2 or 3 weeks and have taken it on pretty much every single shoot that I've had, so I've been using it a ton. If you have been following this channel for any amount of time, you'll know what's coming up next. Specs, pros and cons lists. I love my pros and cons lists, but we gotta get into the specs first. This is a 5-inch 1080p monitor, 1000 nit brightness. It's a touchscreen monitor, supports 4K HDMI input, a ton of helpful features such as zebras, focus peaking, waveform, vectors, grids, false colors, just a ton more. It supports Sony NPF and Canon LPE6 batteries, provides a ton of built-in color profiles supporting cameras like Arri, Blackmagic, Canon, Fuji, Nikon, Panasonic, Red, Sony, and a whole bunch of others as well. But I don't even know if there are any other cameras. You can also upload custom LUTs through an SD card and apply that directly to the monitor. And this also supports anamorphic functionality in multiple modes: 1.33 times, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8, 1.9, and 2 times squeeze. Lastly, you can expect this monitor to go for about $189 USD, and it should be released in early June. So, with all the specs kind of out of the way, let's jump into that pros and cons list, starting with the pros. And I think the first pro is that it's a touchscreen monitor. Having it be a touchscreen, I think, just makes everything faster. It's just easier to kind of tap through the menus, scroll through, pick your stuff, and be ready to go. Next is at $189, this is still a super affordable monitor. So you're not shelling out a ton of money, and you're still getting great quality. Which leads to the next pro, and that's the quality of the image. I really like the quality of this monitor and the image that it provides. It's pretty easy to set up and calibrate to your camera. I just use the custom LUT that I put into the SD card, and I'm able to get the image and the look that I want when I'm shooting. Not only is the image accurate, or as close to accurate as I need it to be, what I'm seeing on the external monitor is almost exactly what I'm seeing on my Canon flip-out LCD screen. The next pro is that it is lightweight and compact. 5 inches is pretty great for run and gun. With this being kind of a plastic build, it is super lightweight while not necessarily feeling extremely cheap and like it's gonna break right away. At least so far as I've been shooting it, it's held up great, and I've been trying to run it through its paces, and yeah, it's been great. And then of course, the brightness. Here on Maui, I'm always running into bright sunny days, and with a 1000 nit monitor, you can't go wrong. There hasn't really been any times where I haven't been able to see what's on my monitor because it's too bright. That 1000 nits is super handy, super helpful, and that's one of the reasons why I originally got the T5 Plus. And so the fact that this Lilmon5 also has a 1000 nit brightness is awesome. And kind of speaking of the T5 Plus compared to this monitor, I actually prefer the power on button and the battery release on this one. Maybe that's just preference, but I actually like the way that I can take the battery out of this monitor better than the T5 Plus, and I just like the side little button. Just feels nicer. But not everything is absolutely perfect, and this gets us into the cons. So the first con was when loading my LUT. It took a good like 2-3 minutes just to load it. So again, this is just beta software or firmware, so that could be fixed when the final version comes out, but setting all of this up, it did take a little bit to load that LUT. I did notice that to turn on the monitor and for it to kind of connect to the camera was a little bit faster than the T5 Plus, which was great. And to be honest, when when I've got my monitor set up, I don't really change anything. I just kind of toss it on there and I'm able to just be able to see what I'm shooting a lot better. As mentioned previously, the next con would be kind of the build quality. It is a plastic build, so this thing isn't built like a tank, but like I said, I mean, this adds and helps to the lightweight factor, and I haven't had an issue yet with any kind of build quality. But just to let you know, it is a plastic build. And then lastly, this was kind of one of the biggest cons for me, was the HDMI slot in the back. With the T5 Plus, I really liked that you could put it in the side and it was kind of protected in that little pocket so that you wouldn't be snapping off the HDMI cord. So I'm not too sure why they switched that or why they decided to go to the back. I really liked the fact that the T5 Plus had that HDMI cord going in the side, protected in that pocket, whereas with the Lilmon5, it just goes directly into the back. So with all of that being said, I would highly recommend this monitor, especially if you're looking for a touchscreen monitor. With the price point, touchscreen, lightweight, and the 1000 nits, you can't really go wrong. For me, I don't need anything fancy or crazy when it comes to a monitor. It just has to last and has to look great and has to be bright. And this monitor checks off all those boxes. But let me know in the comments below. Would you want to get this monitor? Are there any other features that you would want to see or that you're stoked about with this? As always, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe and do all of that good stuff. It really does help and make a difference. And I'll see you on the next video. Today, I want to talk to you